Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the IGN Pro League. If you've just tuned in, you've missed out on the first epic matchup right here between Katz and EGAxslav in the losers bracket. One of these guys is going out, so they're fighting for their life. Currently, Katz is one game down, as EGAxslav's passive style proved to be the undoing of Katz after several key mistakes in terms of the deployment of Infestors and Broodlords. Katz caught out, torn apart, and of course beaten in a base race scenario. Not too good at all. Will EGAxslav's patient macro style win out against the insanity that is Infestor Gadget? That's Katz, folks. We will find out very shortly. Still all to play for. Let's get it on. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the Metalopolis right here and bring you Katz. In the yellow trunks, he is playing Zerg for, of course, Team Root. Down to the bottom. Versus his opponent in the close air position, we have EGAxslav in the red trunks. He is playing Protoss for Team Evil Geniuses. We are in the losers bracket, and EGAxslav is currently up one game in this best of 5 series. Katz's legendary, interesting style, his intriguing style, his flexibility, it's going to have to come into play here. EGAxslav with a very, very passive early game. Katz was not able to inflict any real damage to EGAxslav, and once the push came, Katz had no hope. Bear in mind, though, Katz did make several mistakes as he was going through there. One of them, of course, was to lose so many Infestors. He mismicroed his Infestors. They ended up at the front of his army, and there was just nothing left to do. Infestors do not tank damage very well. They get char-grilled, folks. They really, really do. They are a delicacy in some cultures. Not in mine, thankfully. We have boring food here in England. However, Katz's combination is potent if he's able to do actual damage with it. EGAxslav with the scout, sees him almost immediately. He'll no doubt try and block off this area right here, prevent an expansion. The question is, what will Katz's response be? Will he go straight for the extractor and the spawning pool or the extractor, and do something else? We never know, because look at this. This is interesting. He hasn't got an extractor yet. He hasn't got a spawning pool yet. He's got the money for it. Is he actually? Yes, he is. Going for an expansion by the gold minerals. That is risky, but a potential huge payoff from that. We'll find out whether or not it really does end up paying off. And actually, think about it for a second. Think about why you would do something like that. One, this is not the first time I've seen Katz actually do this. He has been known to do it. It is a perfect map for it. It's one of the only maps where you can really pull it off. However, there is a risk that it will be scouted early because it's right next to that Xel'Naga watchtower. So that is a real problem. However, he, I think, right now is pretty confident that his opponent doesn't go in for any real early game aggression. And in fact, in this entire tournament, we have seen that EGAxslav has really held off most of the time on early game aggression, because when he's tried to do it, it's actually failed. It's not his strength. His strength is a patient macro style and eventually rolling over his opponent. If Katz is able to exploit that and go for a mid-game attack using this economic advantage he will gain from holding on to these gold minerals, then that could be critical. Katz keeping an eye out. Will he be able to slide past there and at least get some scouting information? He finds out his opponent has gone for the same style as before. Straight into the Cybernetics Core. No aggression. Double assimilator. No sign of a 4 gateway. No double gateway zealot push or anything like that. No nonsense whatsoever. EGAxslav, very laid back, very patient player. Katz looking to take advantage of that one. There's the completion on the hatchery, and the drone transfer will no doubt start very shortly. If EGAxslav continues with this passive pace, then Katz will be able to easily fortify this area and will then be able to use those extra minerals to really get things going. And even though he's actually behind in terms of his drone count right now, I have to assume that he is, and of course he is, bearing in mind the situation. He just built an expansion. That's a lot of money, folks. That doesn't mean that you can really get your drones running until after that expansion is up. He's even going for 2 queens as well, so that's going to restrict him just a little bit. However, look at this. Look at how quickly he's going to be able to recover from this. Look at the minerals just streaming in as he's able to mine the gold minerals and gain an additional benefit from that. Excellent stuff there by Katz, and exploiting the fact that EGAxslav is not aggressive early game. Second gateway coming down. What will EGAxslav's strategy be? We've seen 2 gateway into an expansion. We've seen there's a possibility, say, of 2 gateway into Twilight Council, which is actually what he's doing right now. So there's a possibility. It might even be the case that he decides to get aggressive early with Blink Stalkers. And I don't know how well that'll really work if Katz has got map control, which he really, really does right now. Spinecrawler coming down as well. Got a good number of Zerglings coming out. Takes the Xel'Naga watchtower by force. Baneling's on the way for Katz as well. That's very, very interesting. You know, I like Katz because I can never really properly predict what he's actually going to do, and I don't think many players can. Katz is a very unusual player. However, if there are a lot of sentries, Banelings could do damage, assuming they do not get locked down by force fields, which is a real risk. Looking at the money of EGAxslav right now, he's getting to the stage where it looks like he's going to expand. Pylon at the bottom of the ramp. It seems extremely likely that we'll see a Nexus from him momentarily, and it's a good idea as well, considering he is lagging behind economically. That's one free Overlord for him, however, and Katz actually has not built a replacement. 2 more on the way. That'll be a very, very small, and oh, it is a Dark Templar rush right now. Twilight Council, and more to the point, did Katz actually scout it? He did not. He saw Twilight Council, however, so he must be thinking there is a very real possibility of Dark Templar. This could be dicey. There are no Spore Crawlers up yet, no sign of an Evolution Chamber, no Lair, no Overseer, so that's no detection of any description. The Dark Shrine will be up in around a minute's time. Here comes the harassment. He's not going to be able to bring that Nexus down, though. It's not going to happen. EGAxslav easily able to push that one away. Now, I'm really, really worried for Katz right now. Unless he gets some kind of real defense up, he is not going to be able to deal with these Dark Templar. No way. Still no sign. No sign that he suspects. No Evolution Chamber. No Overseers. Dark Templar Shrine nearing completion right now. Are there any real proxy pylons? He doesn't need one. He's got one right here. He can warp down immediately and bypass his opponent. A lot of Zerglings on the field, however, so I have to wonder just how effective those Dark Templar are going to be. 29 Zerglings swarming in right now, trying to bring that Nexus down as rapidly as they can. However, pushed away, and he catches him out of position. Oh, it is blocked off almost. So very close right there. Excellent play there by EGAxslav. Tries to bring him out. He forces a cancel, however. That's a coup d'etat. Now taking advantage of the fact that his opponent actually walled off his own ramp, trapping his own zealots outside of the base. Amazing play there. Excellent play by Katz right there as he rips through one pylon. Looks for the second right now. In the meantime, I saw one Dark Templar deployed. Rolling in a second Dark Templar now deployed. Nothing to deal with that at all. No defense. Lair is on its way. How long will they wait? A lot. They actually got stuck up against the creep tumors and the lamppost there by the looks of it. And of course, Katz Queen. One taken out right now, and Katz is going to need to move away from that almost immediately. He knows what's coming in. He can convert Overseers quite quickly. So I think the damage that's going to be done here is pretty minimal. Swarming around the Zerglings right now, trying to provide a tempting target. It's not going to happen. If he focuses fire on the Spine Crawler, that's going to be great for Katz because those Overseers are already up. In comes the Swarm. Looks for the Surround. In comes the Overseer. That is one dead DT, ladies and gentlemen. And the other one, however, has inflicted horrendous damage to Kat's economy. How much did he manage to pull off the line? A reasonable number, but that's still a loss, and that's not what you want at all. In comes the Overseer. Loses a few more in the process, actually remining at a bad time. Kat's going in way too early there, losing 3 more drones when he really didn't have to, and now he's going to be forced to re-drone and can't apply pressure to his opponent. That said, he did manage to deny an expansion, so you can't really complain about that. 2 Dark Templar taken out. That's pretty expensive stuff, folks. 2 more DTs now wandering around. Expansion on the way once again for EGAxslav. However, he is still relying now on 4 gates by the looks of it, and he is actually backing it up with only a single Nexus. That could be problematic. That's going to drain his economy quite a lot. In comes the harassment once again. No kill for him, I'm afraid, as the Photon Cannon deploys. Second one, and EGAxslav starting to get his brain in gear, starting to get his economy rolling, and starting to get his defenses, which is not good. Hydralisks on the way for Katz. Bear in mind that Katz actually built a Hydralisk den the last time around, and he didn't really do anything with it. Didn't go for a Roach Hydralisk combination. It's an old school combination, ladies and gentlemen. Katz looking for the flank right here, forcing force fields, and in the meantime looking for the surround with those circuits. He does have 31 on the field, but he's not really able to do any significant damage. Those Banelings will not work out. He needs some ranged units. He needs something else. Katz's economy, however, is starting to get to a very dangerous place. Dark Templar making sure no expansion coming in whatsoever. He needs an Overseer right there to deal with that. He's going to go and look for yet more damage. Does he have an Overseer? He does. Will the Queen be able to bring it down, however? It's looking quite unlikely. If he's able to get in there, he can deal huge damage to that Queen, but he's not doing that. He's actually going for the drones instead. Manages to escape as well. Zerglings swarming all the way back. If he gets the Overseer over there, he might be able to catch that Dark Templar. The question is, where is it? He doesn't know. He doesn't see it. There we go. He sees it now. There's the surround, and down it goes. Nom, and nom. Katz with a lot of Hydralisks coming out in the field, and honestly, if you look at the forces of EGAxslav, they are puny. He's got barely anything. He's got a few Stalkers and some Sentries, but that's really about it. He does have that single Dark Templar still in the field. It's actually over here, keeping an eye on this expansion, not doing any real harassment right now. He can't really because of that Overseer. However, the push will no doubt come very shortly. A combination of Banelings, Zerglings, and Hydralisks. should be quite effective, honestly. Those force fields will go down. They will be able to lock down some Banelings and Zerglings. However, they will not be able to stop the firepower of the Hydras, and there's already 14 right now on the field for Cats. No upgrades apart from the range upgrade, now scouted by IGAxslav. IGAxslav is going to have to respond to that very, very rapidly. A Colossus on the way will be able to do the job. Trying to get a warp in. Here comes the surrounding fire. Takes down one, looks for the second. Banelings, oh, in the middle right there, a second detonation. It's very, very good right now. Those force fields were not able to block them all off. Massive deployment, but into the mineral line they go. A few managed to slip past the detonation. Ow, wow, that's brutal. Cat's forcing his way in here right now. IGAxslav in a massive amount of trouble as the Hydralisks rain down terror and destruction upon the mineral lines right here of IGAxslav. Looking to take out the photo cannon. Takes one. Looks for the Stalker. Can't quite bring it down, but that Nexus might go down once again. It will. There's no way he'll be able to defend against that. He needs that Colossus out immediately, and he knows it. Another detonation driving those Zealots away. Hydralisk at the front gets quickly annihilated. In come the Zerglings. That's not good. Don't run into the choke point. That is a critical error. Do not do that. That is not good at all. Zerglings getting torn apart. However, he is using them right now as a distraction to try and keep that Colossus off the Hydralisks. He needs to focus down immediately. He can't stay there. They will be incinerated. Cat's driven away once again, and he needs to come up with some kind of follow-up. Can he take it? Yes, he can. At least he takes down one gateway, and he actually lands a Contaminate right there. Nice play, extremely nice play on that robotics facility. Takes the Hydralisk down. Can he take the Colossus? It's what he's looking for. He doesn't have the firepower. It's not going to happen. And that Colossus has taken 12 kills, folks. So that is not good at all for Cats. Not in the slightest. Cats needs to start expanding. He has done that. Looks like he's cleaned out the Dark Templar. There is one more remaining somewhere. I think it's hanging around over there. He's able to deny another expansion, and actually, IGAxslav getting dangerously close to being mined out in this particular base. He's able to deny it again. He should be able to starve IGAxslav out. His army count is looking particularly weak. However, so I might add his Cats, because Cats just threw a ton of units into the fire for no real good reason there. As far as I'm concerned, a little bit of a mistake in terms of bringing down that Colossus. However, he's able to supply block his opponent. Nicely done. His opponent hasn't actually noticed yet either. Pylon coming down to replace that. It will at least prevent some warp-ins for the next 30 seconds. Can Cats get the unit count he really needs? The force fields will be less now. There are far fewer of those sentries on the field. Banelings are going to prove to be extremely dangerous. More Colossi on the way. However, we see Corruptors coming out here for Cats. He'll be able to handle that just fine. Cats in a dominant position right now, expanding once again. That Dark Templar coming in for yet more harassment. It's not taking any kills, however, so that's not too bad at all. Cats feeling pretty good, and the creep spread is ridiculous. The amount of mobility that Cats actually has right now is beyond compare. Oh, yes. Cat's biding his time, lurking in wait. He is prepared to do massive damage. However, it's risky. Very risky letting IGAxslav get into a good position. Those 3 Colossi might prove to be problematic. However, there are 6 Corruptors, and we have Hydralisks, and we have Banelings in the mix. So I would think that this push should be fairly effective. He's bringing a few more units, I think, though. He looks like he's a little bit behind. He should be able to get some good harassment right here. In comes the charge. Can he take that mineral line out? That's what he looks for right now. No speed upgrade for Cats, which is actually kind of bad. He loses a ton of Banelings. Great force field play. However, he is able to take out 2/3 of that mineral line. In come the Corruptors. One Colossus ripped out of the air almost immediately. And the Stalker count is really very, very low right now. Cats, great micromanagement. Nails down one and a second. Forcing a warp in his Stalkers, and the Hydralisk should be able to take this apart very, very easily. In they come. One down for the sentry. Looks for the second. Focusing fire, tearing through the Stalkers very, very rapidly indeed. However, does he have the count for it? That's one taken out. Another sentry brought down. GG! Ladies and gentlemen, Cats takes that one with an excellent display. And that is map control at its finest. Look at that. That creep spread reached the base. And I do mean it was going up the base ramp of IGAxslav. That's how good that was. And the mobility and map control that actually provided meant that IGAxslav couldn't attack at any point during that game. That is the position Cats wants to be in. Expands behind that, gains a massive economic advantage, opening up with this gold mineral expansion, which was a genius maneuver, and then brings him down. Nice play by him, and now he equalizes one apiece in this best of 5 series.